Alright, so I have a very important video right now because I have reason to believe that operator right here is lying to us. And what I mean by that is that it's really not that good. And I think there's another tower that is almost better. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be playing two separate Fallen matches with essentially the same loadout, except I'm going to be using Operator, and then I'm going to switch over to Militant. So let me just grab my loadout real quick. Alright, so this is the loadout we're going to be using. Engineer's just there for like extra DPS. And we're going to be playing Fallen mode on U-turn. Alright, I think I'm going to time scale here, but not that fast. Okay, for early game, we can get 2 operators, and I think they have roughly the same range as Militant, and this adds to about 5 DPS for $600. This is like essentially like the exact same as 1 Militant, so nothing's really different here yet. Alright, it is wave 5, so I'm going to get a level 2 operator. This is 8.5 DPS for $1,125. Now I do want to clarify, Operator has more DPS, like individually the operators have more DPS than Militants because of the damage buffs, and also just in general they have more DPS. But the thing that makes me think that Militant is honestly better is that Operator has a placement limit and Militant doesn't. You can get essentially like 30 more Militants than you can Operators, which means like the DPS is going to add up there. Also, I'm going to sell my Operator because that's another thing I dislike about this tower is that you kind of have to place them in a certain way. But yeah, we are actually leaking a lot considering the amount of operators we have. So I will compare this. Thing with the operator is the range sharing. So we're gonna start doing that right now. I do think that it's the best idea to spam level 3s and then upgrade them straight to level 5 for operator to just get more DPS out of it. The nice thing about this map is we only need 1 extra operator for the range. I think we're going to max all the ones that we currently have down. And I'm going to try to use just the tower that I'm focusing on for as long as possible up until we absolutely need Juggernaut. So I'm going to try to get all my operators down. And yeah, I think that is more expensive than Militant. But if you are getting like 40 Militants, then yeah, it's going to be more expensive than a couple operators. Also, we're definitely starting to get pushed here, so hold on. I think I'm going to need to place on my Juggernaut. Oh, that might be an issue. Alright, I am going to restart because I had auto skip on, so I feel like that's kind of unfair to the tower, but alright, yeah, auto skip's off now. This is all of my operators. We're gonna see how many waves they can defend before I have to get my Juggernaut. So this is gonna be a pretty interesting wave to see if operators can beat this, because this is obviously a pretty big DPS check with 20,000 health. We are honestly shredding it with operators, so that's good news. Alright, it died at the end of this bend. Let's see if Militants do better. Alright, this is my full defense. So we are going to just wait till the final wave, I guess, and we'll see where we end up going the Fallen King with operators. And with the DJ, operator has 140 DPS. Alright, doing the calculations, I've discovered that Operator has 19 or 1,915 DPS, all of them combined. So we'll do the same thing for Militant. Alright, full DPS on the Fallen King. His health is going down pretty quickly, expectedly. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna go down about here. See if we can beat that with Militant. Alright, right here, offering under that. Alright, I'm gonna jump into my game with Militant now. Alright, so here's Militant. We're paying $600 for pretty good range and 4.55 DPS. I think that is slightly less than Operator, but I do think it has a bigger range to make up for it. So 3 level 2s are able to handle this wave, whereas I think we needed like 6 level 2 operators for it last time. That could have been because of auto skip as well though. Alright, there we go. 6 level 2s. Definitely enough to handle this wave. I'm gonna get our DJ now. This DPS is probably about equal to like a level 4 operator, which obviously if there's other level 4s, it's gonna have a lot more range. And I think this costs less, but I'm not sure. I am gonna get a couple more militants though, because last wave got pretty far, and this wave is a pretty hard one. I think I'm gonna max my first one. I don't think, I think I was farming too much. Yeah, I was farming too much. Alright, I'm gonna revive because I was farming way too much. I have a grand total of 35 militants, and if with this set to red, the militant has 84.71 DPS. And yeah, this has like almost 1,000 more DPS than operators, so we can definitely expect the final wave to go better. And yeah, these ones with max DJs, yes, they cost less than your average operator, but keep an eye on placing way more than I was with operator. Alright, we're just gonna go at wave 30 with this. It died here with operators, so we're gonna see what, obviously I can place a lot more militants than what I have down, but because I can't outline placements with my Juggernaut, I'm not going to. We're on the Fallen Shield. I think this is later than we started focusing on the Fallen Shield with operators. I'm gonna place a couple more militants like that. And yes, this is pushing farther, but I also do not have the amount of militants that I can have. So we're gonna go ahead and get our Juggernaut now. Oh yeah, Fallen Angel dies here. I think that's roughly where the operators killed it, so you can see that the extra placement limit here is starting to catch up, if not overtake, operator. Alright, there we go. That is all my militants. Alright, here's the Fallen King. Right, we are now fully focusing on the Fallen King. Yeah, this is definitely looking faster. Already down to half health, and it's only here. Alright, yeah, we killed Fallen King here, so that is definitely a lot faster than Operator. Alright, I gotta do my final thoughts really quick. In solo, Militant's better, just for sure. Operator's better in the early game, or sorry, in the mid game, because you can get that higher DPS faster, whereas you kind of need all your militants down for full performance. And with more people, since you can place less towers, you obviously want to bring the one with higher DPS. But in solo, Militant is definitely better than Operator. So you decide yourself, is this tower a scam? Because I kind of think if it gets outperformed by 1,000 coin tower, I think it is. Alright, anyway, see ya.